All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So as we all know, last night during the Rams-Seahawks game, Russell Wilson had to leave the matchup early with that finger injury. And, on the playback, the slow motion playback, it looked horrible. It looked brutal. Seeing his fingers bend in that way, it was not good. Okay, so long story short, Russell Wilson exits the game. Geno Smith comes in and looks really good. I mean, he held down the fort. He was delivering nice passes. He was extending plays, showing off his mobility, the arm strength. I thought Geno looked really, really good. And of course, it ended with a pick. We all saw the play. Tyler Lockett falls down. And I don't really put the interception on Geno Smith. If Tyler Lockett stayed on his feet, that ball could have very well been complete. So bottom line, Seahawks lose the game in a really, really disheartening loss on primetime to the division rival Rams. But as we stand right now, the status of Russell Wilson is completely up in the air. Now, we have gotten a couple updates today. Russell Wilson will see a specialist. Of course, he's going to be getting an MRI, but the initial belief is that it's something called mallet finger. And this is something that I personally haven't heard of. I don't know anybody that's had it or sustained this type of injury. And I wrote down the exact definition here from Ian Rappaport, who put it on Twitter earlier. It's essentially a sprained joint, making it harder to flex, making the finger harder to flex. And the average recovery time is said to be anywhere around 4 to 8 weeks, depending on whether or not the tendon is torn or just stretched. So 4 to 8 weeks is, that's a lot of time. Now, luckily for the Seahawks, they are going into the bye week, okay? So not only do you just have more time to prepare for the Pittsburgh Steelers, after the bye week, but you also have more time to get Geno Smith reps with the ones, and that's going to be key for the Seahawks offense. Now, I'm looking at the Seattle team right now. They're 2-3 currently, and they still have a tough stretch of games. They still have to play the 49ers, the Rams, the Packers, the Cardinals twice. That's 5 tough opponents, and the Seahawks are already 2-3. So if the Hawks are dropping these games, if they're having a hard time stringing along W's here, that directly impacts the New York Jets organization because we own their first round pick, due in part to the Jamal Adams trade. We all know this, okay? We own the Seahawks first round pick. So again, if the Seahawks are dropping games left and right, it benefits this Jets team in a massive, massive way. Now, is the Seahawks season over? Is it done? Is it a wrap? The answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not. At the end of the day, I know Geno Smith gets a bad rap, his career with the Jets, turnovers, interceptions, just the overall shortcomings of Smith's career. But I'm going to be honest with you. I like Geno Smith. I think he has all of the physical capabilities to get it done. The arm strength is there. He already has, he has the size, he has the mobility, he could extend plays, he could push the ball down the field. Tons and tons and tons of production back at West Virginia. This guy can put the ball in play. With Geno, I always felt like, I felt like some of the problems were just kind of thrown on him with the Jets, playing way too early, wasn't really ready to play, forced to get in there because Mark Sanchez was hurt. Expectations for Smith were through the roof, even in his rookie year, for whatever reason. I felt like on the field, the reason why Smith struggled was just decision-making, just the mental part of the game, just the overall processing, not seeing certain guys, and I think a part of that was him not being ready to play. But look, this isn't 2013, 2014, 2015. Geno Smith is not some young quarterback, as crazy as this sounds. It sounds weird coming out of my mouth, but Geno Smith is a veteran quarterback in the league. As weird as that sounds, he has had numerous years sitting behind great quarterbacks, guys like Eli Manning, all these years behind Russell Wilson, Phillip Rivers. Smith has had his fair share of time on the bench. He knows what he's looking at now. So as far as the quarterback position is concerned, I don't think the season is a wash. I don't think the Seahawks are going to lose out or anything crazy like that. I still feel like Geno can move this offense effectively. Now, is he as good as Russell Wilson? No. Clearly, Geno's the backup, and he's the backup for a reason. He's not going to step in and replace a top 3, top 5 quarterback in this league immediately. There will be some ups and downs, but I do feel like he can move the chains, move the football effectively with the Seahawks offense. They do have a lot of weapons at the end of the day. Lockett, Metcalf, Chris Carson, hopefully he comes back pretty soon. I don't really know what the timetable is for Carson, but the Seahawks have some legitimate players on offense. It's really up to Geno Smith just to distribute the football, not make these critical mistakes, not turn the football over. And as far as the coaching staff is concerned, yes, they still have Pete Carroll, but their offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, is a guy that I'm a huge fan of. You know, even going back to LA, I mean, he was there for a long time, and I'm really happy that he finally gets an opportunity to be that offensive coordinator in the NFL, because I feel like he's more than capable. I love his system, and I love his overall philosophy. But anyway, you never want to see a guy go down with an injury, but thankfully, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with Russell Wilson's back, his neck. He didn't blow out a knee or anything insane. It's just a finger. Of course, you can make an argument, hey, it's the quarterback's job to throw the football. If he doesn't look the same when he comes back, that's going to be a problem. If he can't grip the football, that's going to be a problem. All those arguments, all those points are valid, but again, extending beyond football here, we do have to look at the situation and say, hey, you know what? Thank God it's not a neck injury or anything crazy like that. So we'll see how the Seahawks look through the rest of the season. If the season were to end today, the Seahawks, sitting at 2-3, would be tallied in with that 13th overall pick. In other words, the Jets would be drafting 13th overall. So a lot to think about here. There's a lot of moving parts, so many questions, not enough answers. We'll see how long the timetable, you know, the initial timetable is for Wilson to return on the field. Hopefully it's not too long, but we'll see how it all plays out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.